The Partition of Jin, the watershed between the Spring and Autumn and Warring States periods, refers to the division of the state of Jin between rival families into the three states of Han, Zhao and Wei. As a result, the three states were often referred to as the three Jins. Because the process took several decades, there is some debate between scholars as to the year that best marks the true partition of Jin. Kiza and Kai state that the most common dates picked by historians are 481, 475, 468, and 403 BCE. The last date, according to Sima Guang, marks the conferring of marquessates by King Weili of Zhou on Wei Si, ruler of the state of Wei, Zhao Ji, ruler of the state of Zhao, and Han Qian, ruler of the state of Han. In 376 BCE, the states of Han, Wei and Zhao deposed Duke Jing of Jin and divided the last remaining Jin territory between themselves, which marked the final end of the Jin state. Background: succession issues were constant in Jin as far back as 7th century. Even when, for example, King Shi of Zhou used his royal clout to give legitimacy to Wu of Kuo as the rightful Duke of Jin in 678 BCE, succession issues continued to arise. At the same time that the Jin Duke was conquering new lands, a process of sub-infeudation, or re-vassalage, occurred in the early and middle parts of the Spring and Autumn period, wherein aristocratic title and territory were awarded to vassals loyal to Jin, rather than to the Zhou royalty. However, Jin was unique among the major states in a major respect, whereas other states often involved the cadet branches of the ruling house. Jin had a policy of exiling or disempowering its own cadet houses. Instead, powerful ministerial families arose which were given fiefs like cadet houses in other states. For example, the House of Zhao descended from Zhao Sui, while the House of Wei descended from Wei Chu, both of whom were retainers of Duke Wen of Jin. The House of Han in turn descended from Han Wan, who was a retainer of Duke Wu of Jin. Over time, while other powerful states were centralizing power through a rising bureaucracy, Jin continued to have a feudal power structure with aristocratic families ruling even individual counties. Over the course of a few generations, the major aristocratic families gained enough power to undermine the ruling duke's authority. During most of the 7th and 6th centuries, Jin was composed of an assortment of semi-independent city-states fighting each other and the Jin Duke as much as they fought other states. Growing aristocracy. The House of Zhao gained in prominence after Duke Wen placed him in charge of newly conquered lands, such that, in 607 BCE, they deposed a duke that attempted to curb their political power. The Jinyang clan was eliminated in 596 BCE. Duke Li of Jin encouraged the Luoyang clan to lead a military coalition that squashed the rising power of the Shi clan. Subsequently, in 573, Luoyang supporters had Duke Li murdered and placed a puppet on the throne, and the clan was then itself eliminated by 550, making the Ji, Zhao, and Han clans the most powerful at about this time. Soon after, the Wei clan also grew in power. In the lead-up to the Civil War, the dominant clans were the Zhao, Wei, Han, Fan, Ji and Zhonghang, who were collectively called the Six Titled Retainers. These six aristocratic families dominated Jin in the late Spring and Autumn period, basically using the ruling duke as a figurehead until Jin was split into three separate states. Civil War. After the 546 BCE truce agreement between Jin and Chu, conflicts between aristocrats and with the duke escalated and a civil war commenced. During the time of Duke Ding of Jin, the Fan and Zhonghang clans were eliminated, leaving only the Ji, Zhao, Han, and Wei clans remaining. By about 450s BCE, the Ji clan was the most dominant and began demanding territory from the other clans. The Battle of Jinyang. Acting on his own accord, The Jin minister Ji Jiangzi used the Ji clan's place in the Jin court to intimidate and demand territory from ministers Han Kangzi of the Han clan and Wei Huanzi of the Wei clan. After Zhao Jiangzi of the Zhao clan rejected Ji Jiangzi's demands in 455 BCE, Ji Jiangzi attacked the Zhao clan while compelling the Han and Wei clans to send troops. Zhao Jiangzi retreated to the Jin city of Jinyang in 455 BCE, and the united forces laid siege for 2 years while also diverting water supplies away from the city. Faced with a critical situation, Zhao Jiangzi sent an envoy who persuaded the Han and Wei clans to change sides. They arrived and diverted a huge stream of water that split Ji Jiangzi's camp in two, then captured and killed Ji Jiangzi. In 453 BCE, the Zhao, Han, and Wei clans annihilated the Ji clan. As their respective powers were so balanced, none of the three remaining aristocratic families felt they could feasibly gain an upper hand over the others. So, in 403 BCE, they divided the state's lands among themselves into the three Jins of Wei, Han, and Zhao. All three states quickly formed strong bureaucracies, thereby weakening the potential for any aristocratic families from encroaching on their power. This same year, King Weili of Zhou proclaimed Jin, Wei, Han, and Zhao as equals remaining Jin lands. Duke Ai of Jin died in 434 BCE and was succeeded by Duke Yu of Jin. The Han, Zhao and Wei clans divided up surplus Jin territory amongst themselves, leaving only Jiang County and Kuo County for Duke Yu of Jin. Because Zhao Jiangzi had usurped his position as prince, Zhao Bolu became upset and agitated, naming his grandson Zhao Zhanzi heir apparent. However, after Zhao Jiangzi died, his son Zhao Huanzi banished Zhao Zhanzi and appointed himself ruler of Jin. Zhao Huanzi himself died a year later, whereupon the Zhao clan killed all of his sons and enthroned Zhao Zhanzi. Later on, Zhao Zhanzi's son Marquis Lai of Zhao succeeded as ruler. In 349 BCE, the Han and Zhao states divided the remaining Jin territory between themselves, thus completely destroying the state of Jin. Bibliography. Blakely, Barry B. Functional disparities in the socio-political traditions of Spring and Autumn China. Part 3. Chu and Chin, Journal of the Economic and Social History of the Orient 22. 81-118, DOI, 10.2307, 3,632,147. Hui, Victoria Tinbor, Toward a Dynamic Theory of International Politics. Insights from Comparing Ancient China and Early Modern Europe, International Organization 58. 175-205, DOI, 10.1017 per seconds 002081830458167. HSU, Choyun, The Spring and Autumn Period, in Lowe, Michael, Shaughnessy, Edward All, The Cambridge History of Ancient China. From the Origins of Civilization to 221 BC, Cambridge University Press, pp. 545-586. Kizzer, Edgar, Kai, Yong, War and Bureaucratization in Qin China. Exploring an Anomalous Case, American Sociological Review 68. 511-539, DOI, 10.2307, 1,519,737. Zhao, Dingxin, comment. Spurious Causation in a Historical Process. War and Bureaucratization in Early China, American Sociological Review 69. 603-607, DOI, 10.1177, 000312240406900407.